Hi traders, good week to all. Vladimir here, and this is the weekly forecast for the very first week of February 2016. This week is going to be very busy fundamentally, while the main event is going to be the non-farm payrolls on Friday from USA. But before, there are several things that it's worth to pay attention to. Manufacturing PMI and Caixin manufacturing in China, the two reports that keep disappointing lately. We're slowly gaining the pace, and we have speech from Draghi to come on Monday as well. Cash rates from Australia, which expected not to be changed, and we keep warming up. Trade balance from Australia, the Governor Kuroda speech that is going to be on Tuesday, and he's going to talk about their actions lately, where they decreased the rates to negative. It starts to feel like Japan is losing it slowly, and they are running out of out of armors maybe to fight their situation, financials, of course. Now ADP on Wednesday to predict what's going to happen with non-farm payrolls. One more speech from Draghi, and then we have cash rate and votes in Britain. And as I say, then we have speech from Carney, and basically all the eyes are to Friday with non-farm payroll. So it's going to be a very busy week, interesting week. So let's quickly go over the chart and see what is the main focus we have to go with this week. First of all, just a reminder, non-farm payrolls week tend to be tricky, so we have to remember that. We played a very slow pace. Don't take some not necessary risks, okay? There would be opportunities, no need to rush and take some risky trades on such weeks. Look for those that will provide you minimum risk, good potential reward. That's where we have to stick with. So first of all, dollar CAD, our star from lately. This pair is moving very nice, and now it could be on very special situation. If it keep crossing down and go to below this bottom, it's actually making then a situation that will be called bend to bend with a bit more until it creates some kind of divergence. There is a trend line going through these bottoms, which could be waiting for this pair then, and if it completes this drop, this is a classical situation that I love extremely, which would be called convergence, and would be on a daily chart, which means after that, boom, some kind of retrace and more to come during the year. Okay, that's one scenario, but for that we will have to make sure this bottom is crossed down. That's the 138, and if it does cross down, the lower the better. Then retraces must be sold, and that could be really good call, technically, of course. And I remind you that all that comes from the weekly double cycles and triple cycles combinations. So attention on this one, that could be very interesting. And I want to remind you that from my point of view, at least according to the cycles, we should end up somewhere here. So basically, I would not be surprised if we go in this kind of movement. Then below 128 could be really interesting, maybe even lower. So we will see how it goes. That's one plan. Another plan here is that we currently running out of a wedge here, ending position, and we might get the reversal first of all, and then if this scenario happens, then I would like to get the prices above 142, maybe even above 143, to look for some kind of divergence there, and from there go for a bigger wave down, maybe for A, B, C, D duplication from this scenario. So two ways to see how the pair goes. If it keeps going straight, classical, we will then be able to look for buys opportunities for two waves retrace. If it retraces from here, we are going to look for sales from 142, 143 zone, maybe slightly higher even. and of course all that is relevant as long as last top does hold. That's one pair which from my point of view is very interesting. Another one is Euro Canadian, which plays it also very interesting. I would very be interested to get this kind of movement here, and after that going for a buy. But we are now mirroring this wave. If it goes below this bottom, that's 149. If we go below 149, that could be not bad opportunity to start and look for potential buys and retraces. Of course, we will need a divergence to complete by then, because there is no cycle ends without a divergence, right? And this is basically what I expect for this pair. Of course, here on the daily view, it also could turn to be band to band with convergence that might then push us back and lower again before we continue all the way up. So so far this is the direction. That's what I would expect to happen with this pair here. That's the trend line, which by the way I believe is going to be retested later or sooner, so attention here as well. Pound Canadian, another star. We've been talking about this pair so many times, and from my point of view we are going lower. This is just the first wave developing here. I think we are about to cross below 197 this time. Anyway, I don't change nothing here on these terms. We need to go below this bottom in order to complete weekly convergence, and if that's the scenarios, then of course it's going to be like that, playing the role, and much more to come. So let's see if we successfully get the convergence as we planned. And that's about all the Canadian pairs. We can keep going. Canadian pair we've been talking about, and so on, which for this pair I would start watching for something like this. Canadian is actually rolling to the first level which I want to see, and that's these tops. Now if we complete two waves up here, that's classical. We will need to get the bearish divergence creating on these rallies. From this zone we might be starting for 2 or 3 waves down, mirrored to that, and right after that we are going for potential longs all over again towards these tops. Now I want to remind you, we had triple cycles which we've been talking about many times on the weekly forecast. We are going very likely between this 38 to 50. That means we can easily cross above 90 on the rally to come. So it's one of the most interesting opportunities we could get and we could enjoy from. Another one is the pound yen, which we've been talking about as well. Okay, double movement. We should be able to get mirrored to that wave at least. Okay, that's the scenario. So something like that. Boom, boom. This is what I think we are going to have. And for this one, of course, well, too many words already were said. One of the things potentially to go and to try, that's once this double wave completes itself, which could be already done, but there is no divergence still. So if we can get one more push to complete some divergence on this rally, we then can go and start to look for shorter sells. But as long as the bottom will hold, we after that might be looking for one more buy before it switched all over and start the sells again. So anyway, if we get this top here with the divergence as I want, I would be trying already sells, having some part, expecting maybe even new bottom. Why? Because on the weekly chart there is no bullish divergence. So I would not be surprised if from here or slightly higher we will get one more bottom to be created after that during the year somewhere. I would not be surprised at all if that could happen. But as I said, that's for longer run. I would be trying partial shorts to hold them. And talking about the dollar yen, we talked about yen pair, so let's quickly go over the dollar yen. That was the false break we had here, so we have a top, and that was the false break on the bottom we have, and we are probably on a ranging scenario yet. before we can go and talk about continuation of the sells. Now there is one thing to remember. This double rally could take us to 128, 130 zone before we can see something like that, but I do believe the weapon is running out of Japanese bank, central bank. Their negative rates make all the yens less attractive. That's why we can see these kind of rallies here. But is that about to stay here, or is that will be translated by traders as weakness sign? That's something we will have to see. And anyway, as long as this top holds, I would be trying two waves shorts. So if we can get something like that, I would be trying short. But on the other hand, as long as this bottom will hold now, I would be trying to enjoy the second leg. So to summarize things up, if we can get, that's the two waves we already had, right? If we can get from here somewhere two waves down mirrored to this rally, then I would be trying for potential longs again. Okay, that's the idea, as long as this bottom holds. And that's basically all. So far we are moving in a range, and we have to treat it the same way. Pound dollar, well, this pair is weak. Okay, we enjoyed the rallies some way, but the question is do we really have a bottom already? From my point of view, the answer is simple. As long as this bottom will hold, I prefer to look on potential buys. Now we have a fake break here, and we have a fake break here. We are now moving in kind of a range. So if we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, and again false breaking here, or just bouncing from the bottom, that would be a nice idea to go and to try longs. Pound 145, 146 could be really good area, and that would be a great place to look to rally up to. If we break the last bottom and we just go straight lower, there is big chance we are going to 139, 138, and remember the long view of 133, which yet remains possible. Okay? That's a possibility for the continuation of this year, and I wouldn't say complete no to that, but on the same time I wouldn't be surprised if we can get 145, 146 or so before we drop much lower. And remember, we had the FOMC meeting during the last week, and what comes out of there, that the Fed is not going to increase rates on the pace they would expect. Many members are against it, and the latest slowing down on world growth affect that, of course. So I would not be surprised at all if this pair and many other pairs will actually find the bottom versus the dollar soon and start the rallies. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that happens. I do think more suggestions and hints from the Fed that the pace is going to be much slower than they thought at the beginning when they started the rates increasing would go and take the dollar into lower areas, weaker areas, because it got very powerful relying on the rates to go up, and that's basically something to pay attention to. About the euro dollar, well, I've been asked a lot about this pair lately, and to be honest, I don't really have any clear view. I still think we are going down. Okay, we will have one more low. That's my view here, and it wasn't changed. The thing is that we are now here, we had like 40 candles, we now have like 40, 50 candles, so I still think we might play inside this range right here. So what could happen easily with the euro dollar, we could get some fake break and more rallies. That's a possibility. That will also complete two waves for us. So what I would be looking to do, I have two scenarios for that. One, as long as last bottom holds, we can try longs. But for these longs, we need some kind of momentum to be gained, and so far we are in a range mode, so nothing really to do. If we can rally here and gain some momentum, we are then going to 112 or so before we can go and short again. Another scenario is, as I said, if this is just going to be daily chart, if this is just going to be like two wavements here, okay, then with the false break I would be looking to go for longs. Oh, that's what I would be trying to do with the euro. It doesn't mean we have anything to do right now, not really. Euro pound, very interesting pair, which I still want to be able to long. We are now moving in kind of a range here. Okay, that's what it does. Basically I expect one more drop. Maybe we go as low as to below this bottom. That's a possibility, definitely. Once we complete this bottom, definitely be looking for buys, because I believe the chances are we will get two waves rally to above 0.80. Anyway, there's no bearish divergence yet. There's nothing to convince for a short yet, for long run. But on short term, definitely enough to try shorts versus a trend line versus the last tops. That could be not bad opportunity. And of course, all is relevant as long as this top holds, because if this top will not hold, we are going for a maybe triple rally directly to 0.80, and then a big short to come. So that's what I would expect for the euro pound. Another pair on the list, euro versus the Kiwi. I started to find it very interesting, to be honest, because I still think this pair could rally higher. I would not be surprised if we get two big waves up here, but on short term we might get, okay, we got something interesting. Basically, two waves up, we might get two waves down. That's the place. And if we can get it and a bullish divergence to complete, bullish hidden divergence complete here, that could be a monster buy opportunity. So for that, let's go as low to the 4-hour chart. That's the two waves I referred to. Okay, now check this out, how it worked. Basically very interesting scenario. Give me a moment to put my lines, please. Okay, we have the 61 extension, which was false broken, right? And we might get this 61 as well. Okay, so one of the scenarios is we keep holding this support and we bounce from here, then we can talk about longs. Another scenario is we cross this bottom of 164, breaking that, coming closer to 163 and slightly lower, the 100 extension of this, complete mirror to this, and then boom, look for potential longs. This scenario will remain relevant as long as this bottom holds, of course. Okay, so watch for potential trades there, which make me think if Kiwi dollar is able to complete two waves rally like that, we can then look for great opportunities for shorts. And I think that's the main thing we should be dealing with for this pair. Aussie dollar completing two waves rally, which means it might easily try the correction, especially while we have bearish hidden divergence here on the 1-hour chart. This pair broke the last trend line here. Okay, so basically two waves push and we can try the short again. Of course, everything is relevant as long as this top will actually hold. Okay, that's a scenario. Two waves up and we can be dealing with potential short. First thing to aim would be 38.2. It's something like around 0.7030 approximately. First place to cash out, then give it a chance, because that might be with the bearish hidden divergence on the daily chart. We might go all the way to the last bottom. That's a possibility, that's a probability, and I want to remind you there is a chance we will see one more bottom created on the monthly chart. So definitely interesting one. And gold, well, gold I think should be dropping down, but I still remember this triple cycle. And so basically I would not be surprised if we can rally towards 1170 or maybe even higher. So for me, gold is yet a potential buy. For that I would love to have something like that, then try these buys, aiming the bigger view, because I am not sure that this divergence already ending the rallies. Really not sure about that. So if we can get the new tops, as I think we might, then definitely I will be trying shorts for a longer run. Oil remains very interesting yet, and the good news are, if you take a look on this trend line I've been talking about so many times, okay, we are trying to false break it. Now I would agree this is not as convincing as we would imagine, right? And that's the last two waves we had, but basically we are aiming the 40 right now, and very big chance we're aiming above 45. So for me, oil is still long. Once the two waves complete themselves, okay, which means one more push for a divergence, we can then be trying look for shorts on the short term and then try to long it again. As long as last bottom holds, for me it's only long opportunities on the mid long term, and on short term of course we can try the short term cycles, but that means we will have to complete the two waves, rally, one more push, divergence, it has to come as divergence, there is no cycle ends without divergence, and then look for false breaks below this trend line or something like that, and then potential shorts again. So that's all for the oil. And the last one, indices, which rallies towards Friday, and which make me think, after all, there is a very big chance, like the dollar yen, that same with indices, we are in a ranging movement. That's a great probability, great possibility, and again, for me it's only sells. We are now rallying into two waves, bend to bend, and we can go and try short. That would be also bearish hidden divergence here, of course. Great chance from my point of view. For that we can look on the triangle view, which ends something like here. We could rally towards 1960 or higher. Drops in the beginning of the weeks could be attempt for a buy, 1960, maybe even higher towards 2000, and then we can talk about shorts again. That's the plan. As for now, in the short term, as I said, we can we have a trend line right now developing here, so if we can get like this on the beginning of the week, that could use us as a buy opportunity towards 1960 or slightly higher. That will be all for this week, friends. Remember, non-farm payrolls, don't push the button too easy this week. I wish you great trading. Thank you very much for your time watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any question or any comment, any feedback, if you like that, please share your comment on the comments, and I will reply there, of course. So once again, thank you for your time. Feel free to spread the weekly forecast with whoever you believe could enjoy and have any benefit out of it, and let's help people to have some good, great chances and good view on the market, honest view on the market. That's the most important thing. So thanks guys, I wish you best, and thank you for your time. Yours, Vladimir Ribakov.